So I want to talk briefly about confession, and I'll go ahead and be totally transparent because confession's not easy. It's hard. It humbles you. It humbles your pride. Um, it's a very humbling experience, and I feel like for a lot of Catholics, we can get into a state or a place, at least I have, of going to confession out of habit and not necessarily out of being sincere completely. And that could be a very scary place to be because we don't ever want to go to confession and just confess out of habit and then do the same sin over again. And I'll be your primary example. I didn't want to go to confession yesterday because I thought, well, this sin I did, it's not that bad, and really, like, it's not a big deal. But I thought about it after the fact, and I swear this came from Jesus because I felt like God was telling me, okay, you did that thing that seems small to you, but would you still receive me in communion after doing what you did? And I said, no, my hands would be dirty, Lord. Like, how could I receive you in my hands after doing that or doing this? And it really made me think of confession differently, and it made me think about why am I so reluctant to want to go in the first place. And I thought about it. Well, I don't want people to look at me online because I was just there last week, or whatever your thoughts are, or say that you're a lector up there, or you're in ministry. You don't want people to see you and wonder, oh, why is she in confession? She must have done something terrible. All these thoughts can go through our minds, and often if we think about it, those thoughts are really of the enemy. Confession is not a place that we go to be beat down, to feel bad. Confession is a place where God is literally purifying our souls, whether that's venial sin or that's mortal sin, something serious. And often I've been looking at confession like, oh my God, here I am again, because I tend to be a perfectionist. I don't want to go back from to square one again when I just was at square one like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, whatever it is. So if you're having a hard time with wanting to confess, I just want to encourage you. Confession is a place for God to pour His love out on you, not for God to judge you, but confession is an open invitation for you to come to the Lord, kneel before Him, talk about what you're going through. It's really a counseling session, in my opinion. Talk about what you're going through. Why? Do you know that it's wrong? Why are you doing it? And letting the priest intercede for you before God and talk to you and counsel you and help you. Confession is not a place for you to go to and feel bad about yourself. It's a place for God to lift you up, put you back in His grace again, and just love on you. I feel like it's so easy to look at confession like, oh, it's this horrible, horrible thing. But it's a good thing because, one, it humbles us. It humbles our pride. It's the biggest thing right there. It humbles our pride. And in the book of James, it says, confess your sins to one another so that you may be healed. And I'll touch on this really briefly. I'm a Catholic convert, so a lot of people that I know that are Christian will tell me, Annalise, you don't need to confess to a father. That's not how you do it. You can confess to God directly. I understand that, but just for example, the book of James, because there's so much more to it, but if the book of James is telling me confess your sins to one another so you may be healed, this is the same thing with me and a priest. I'm confessing my sins to him so that I can be healed of this stuff, because we all know if we don't talk about what we're going through, we're not going to heal and we're not going to get over it. It's just the truth if you think about it. And if you're having a hard time, think about it as you would tell a friend. Like if you tell a girlfriend, hey, I did this again. I know I shouldn't have done this, but it happened. Pray for me. That's what it's like when you're with a priest. You're just talking to somebody to get help, and at the same time, we want to go to confession with the thought that, okay, God, I'm not going out of habit just because I'm used to going to confession. I'm going to sin, next Sunday again, right? But I'm going to confession because I do want to get it right. I know that I'm in the wrong. I know that I need to get this part of my life right. Please help me. So if you're struggling with confession, hopefully these things help you. It helped me yesterday. I didn't want to go yesterday, to be honest with you. One, because of my pride. I had to evaluate myself. Why don't I want to go? Why am I being reluctant? Because I was prideful. I didn't want people to see me up there again because I was there last week. What are they going to be thinking of me? Because I did something horrible? What if it's small? It doesn't matter. Everybody that's there, think about confession this way. When you're going to confession, it should be the most beautiful, liberating experience ever. It's not a place of judgment. There are a ton of people in line just like you, trying to get their life right, talking out their problems, because confession can take a while to heal from stuff. If you've been in a habit for 27, 30, 15 years of doing the same thing, it takes a while, but by talking to somebody about it, that's where we find the healing. So God bless you guys. I encourage you, if you have anything weighing on your heart or your mind, even if it's small, go to confession. Confession is for mortal sins, but if you have venial sins that you just want to talk about because it's a habitual issue, talk about it, because in confession, that's where God starts to heal our hearts, heal our wounds, and humble our pride, which is the biggest, most important thing possible. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good day.